We have fantastic facilities here which enable us to conduct bench-to-bedside research. We've been awarded a Human Tissue Act licence for research so that we can build up a tissue bank. This is vital for the translational academic research, but also an absolute core component of the early phase industry-sponsored trials that we're also involved in. We've also provided for our local community access to high-quality clinical trials on their doorsteps.
We've come a long way over the last 5 years in developing a team of expert researchers, including nurses, lab technicians, data managers, research governance officers.
We can use it for two types of activity. It could become an inpatient facility to run early phase studies where people may need overnight stays, and we have a capacity to put 8 beds in the unit. And we also use it in the daytime to treat patients mostly in early phase oncology studies, or patients who are undergoing treatments for Alzheimer's.
One example of the type of research we are performing is a new randomized window of opportunity study which tests novel combinations of treatments in the short time between the diagnostic core biopsy of breast cancer patients and the time when the tumour is surgically removed.
With Sussex, certainly we were very attracted to the partnership with the medical school and the credentials of the researchers here, but we were also very attracted to the actual research facilities we have here in Sussex, and particularly the centre's track history in research into older people and cancer.
Throughout the facility we have 6 outpatient clinics which are heavily used by either doctors who are seeing patients in the course of the research study, or some of our PhD students will use them to see the patients that they're evaluating as part of the processes.
The project as a whole has been very successful. We've recruited 200 patients and we're continuing to follow those up, and we've put out a number of high quality papers about the research that we've conducted here that have really contributed to the growing field of knowledge about why patients with renal disease have an increased risk of heart and kidney problems.
We've got 3 laboratories which provide us with an opportunity to do sort of cutting-edge science and near-side patient testing. So within those laboratories we have a Luminex machine, a microarray scanner, fax facilities, and a processing lab, which is very important in terms of quick turnaround of bloods, which we can then ship to the pathology unit, which is located directly above the facility.
The work I'm doing is looking at the immune response to an infection called Clostridium difficile. I'm involved in collecting samples from patients, and it makes it incredibly easy to be able to liaise with the ward staff who are involved in the day-to-day care of these patients.
It's this, if you like, crucible of opportunity that is provided by the CRF and which draws on the great strengths of this part of the world, that the fact that there are 2 universities with complementary areas of expertise as well as the medical school, and the great strength that this offers is the opportunity to work as a group in teams to develop new approaches.
We found that the medics are able to come in and say, no, that's not a good idea, no, that's interesting scientifically, but actually that won't benefit the patient. So we found that angle is crucial to focusing our efforts in the biomaterials research group.
The pharmaceutical companies especially like running studies out of this unit because we have bespoke pharmacy facilities, so they don't have to deal with the hustle and bustle of the hospital pharmacy.
When it comes to the actual dispensing of the trial medication, we're very familiar with the procedures, and we can make sure that all the documentation and all the handling of the medicines is performed correctly.
The CRF plays a critical role in our research efforts and in our ability to be awarded with the status of an experimental cancer medicine centre.
We're closely aligned to the Sussex Genome and Damage Repair Facility.
We are part of a national network for early clinical and translational development. Having core funding for a clinical research facility is a critical aspect of this.
The environment is just really calm. I feel relaxed when I come. I feel that nothing is too much bother.
It's lovely, the unit here is fantastic. The treatment has been very successful. The tumours are definitely shrinking, so it's definitely been worthwhile.
From the medical school's point of view, we are committed to developing a research-active school in which clinical research is a high priority. And the CRF provides a facility, indeed the only facility in the whole region, for the kind of opportunities to carry out these clinical trials.
So we've made a good start. We have huge potential, and this is where you need to be investing to see that potential turn into reality, to make a difference for patients and for the people of the South East and the country.